Welcome back. You're still watching In the Game. If you just joined us, you're welcome. We just wrapped up our top 5 stories. You can catch up, get to follow, like our social media platforms at News Central TV. Do not forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel, # In the Game. Please join the conversation. We always want to feel your feedback. I am Onyinyechi Obaro. Let's get straight into it. The Super Eagles of Nigeria are back. Hola, hola. They are back in action this month for the final push of in order to secure a spot for that 2025 African Cup of Nations. But the squad selection is already raising eyebrows. Reaction on social media, reaction from the sporting platforms, with crucial matches expected from Benin Republic and Rwanda. We are asking a lot of questions. Who got ignored by interim coach Coach Eguavoen, who is battling injury and was not called to the Super Eagles 23-man squad? And also, what are other controversial decisions that are surfacing from the release of this 23-man squad? Now, from the return of Victor Osimhen to the shock inclusion of one home-based player, it's so clear that there is more to just disqualification on the line. We dive into that conversation right now, and joining me in the conversation will be a sport journalist, a veteran sport journalist all the way from Plateau State. We've got Andrew Randa. Thank you so much, Andrew, for joining me on the show.
Thank you very much for having me on the show. Bright and sunny day. We hope for the best for the Super Eagles next week.
Yes, we can hope for nothing but the best. We also have another sport journalist joining me. We've got Emmanuel Chibuzo joining me on the show today. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for joining us at this time.
Yeah, good afternoon, JT. Good afternoon, everybody. Andrew, good afternoon. Good to see you.
Great to have you gentlemen join me on the show at this moment. It's a lucky thing that we are talking men's football, so I'm at the helm at this time of this conversation. All right, I'm hoping that I had my producer give me the 23-man list that was released by interim coach Coach Eguavoen. Of course, we saw some names in there: William Troost Ekong, Ademola Lookman. Yes, he would have his shot at the Super Eagles squad. We also saw a little bit of miss. Ajayi out, Ajayi out. We saw the likes of Collins being invited, his first call-up from the Chan Eagles down to the senior men's national team. The forward list you can see on the TV right now has got Victor Boniface and Umar Sadiq having to return back to the Super Eagles squad. Victor Osimhen returns after an injury spell, and he's back again. Welcome back, Victor. But we did see other shakeups from the defenders where Shami is not there. We saw from also the goalkeepers, yes, still maintaining the 3 that made it to the squad list against in the first encounter for Uyo. But I would like to really know, for those who were ignored, for those who were newly invited, the likes of Collins, and also for those who are were not listed in the list due to injury. Let me start off with Andrew. Were you looking forward to Eguavoen considering a fresh attacking option to lead the line in this crucial encounter?
Well, not necessarily, because what we have on the forward line is enough. I think if you ask me, I'll say it's the best in Africa. So Victor Osimhen, Victor Boniface, Ademola Lookman, for me, that front three is absolutely crazy. And you know, I didn't think there was going to be any addition per se, so I was really surprised when Sadiq Umar got the call-up. I understand Taiwo Awoniyi has been battling with fitness, but I spoke to his camp and they said it's nothing too serious per se. So I don't know the rationale behind Sadiq Umar, but again, he fits the kind of striker role that Eguavoen or Nigerian football normally likes. We always have a big man. It could be Paul Onuachu, Taiwo Awoniyi, Sadiq Umar, and those likes. But again, I would have thought at this particular point in time, being top of the group, he would have brought in somebody like Tolu or Arokodare, who actually suits the type of striker position that Awoniyi or Sadiq would have taken. But again, I'm not really fussed by it per se, because what we have in the front line and those that are going to start are definitely good enough. So Moses Simon, Ademola Lookman, Samuel Chukwueze, Victor Osimhen, Victor Boniface, that's enough. So I would have thought, in my own opinion, that someone like Tolu, it would have been a perfect time for us to introduce Tolu Arokodare into the system. He scored 8 goals in 13 matches for RC Genk in the Belgian top flight. he's not here. Cyril just has 6 goals, he's not here. But Sadiq Umar has played only 6 games for Real Sociedad this season with no goals and no assists. So I'm struggling to see the rationale behind that. But but football is not a straightforward thing, you know. It might come in and score a hat-trick and nobody knows, and then all of a sudden it will be a totally different discussion.
Totally different discussion. I'm hoping that Chibuzo, maybe he stands with you or maybe contradicts your reservation concerning this list. Chibuzo, where do you stand?
Actually, I stand with him. Full square. Talking about Sadiq Umar, 6 games yet to score a goal this season, and for the Man City Desert, he has scored 8 goals in all competitions, 6 in the league for Rangers in Scotland. And last time at the last Nations Cup game Nigeria played, Eguavoen was saying the reason he put Iheanacho in that league was because of his experience in terms of doing the team. That was why he brought him in the team. And he said the time for Oroko Dari and Desert is going to come. Maybe we're expecting one of them to get a call up for this one. For Sadiq Umar getting called up is a big question. Like I always say, which you also know, there's no squad list we will see that will not ask questions. Whether it's for a tournament proper or just for a 1 game or a 2 game tournament. But I just feel Sadiq Umar's inclusion is a big question mark for me. The forward line, the big question we're talking about, Boniface, Osimhen, and Ademola Lookman. We've not factored how we're going to play all 3 of them at the same time. Either Echukwu is a start from the flank or Moses Simon start from the flank and he have one man as the point man. But at no point have we had all 3 of them start at the same time. So we have spoiled for 12. Andrew was saying.
Okay.
So on paper, we have the best attack in Africa, the best in the world. But overall, I think Sadiq Umar question.
All right, let me come in here with that attacking option that has been provided for us by the coach, interim coach Coach Eguavoen, Kelechi Iheanacho. He recently scored twice, yes, Copa del Rey for Sevilla, but he has struggled to find consistency, missing key opportunities in the La Liga. Away from Kelechi, Umar, as Andrew Randa did mention, has also had difficult year for 2024, netting only once this year. So, Sadiq Umar in 6 league matches has no goals. Kelechi Iheanacho in 6 league matches also has no goals. But Sadiq and Iheanacho, of course, they got invitations to the Super Eagles squad. On the other hand, we have a Cyril Dessers, Rangers forward with 8 goals and 3 assists in 18 appearances. And these performances particularly did not strengthen his case for a recall into the team. Andrew Randa, do you know why?
The thing is, if you look at the national team setup, there are different kind of strikers for different kind of roles. If you look at how Nigeria has been set up, Moses Simon are more or less wide players. They are not straight center forwards in that sense. Then obviously we got Victor Boniface and Victor Osimhen, who they have the same kind of build but are different type of strikers. And then you have Kelechi Iheanacho, who is also a different kind of striker. So if you were going for a tournament, I would say you invest in 2 front men, 2 wide men, and then maybe a battering ram, like we normally call it on the street. Somebody that is big, maybe 6'2", 6'3", like Taiwo or Sadiq Umar or Paulo Nwachu or Tola Arokodare. So Kelechi's one I will understand because he's a different kind of striker. He can play between the 10 and the 9, like he does for Sevilla, and then drop a little bit to the 8. So there's a bit of versatility around Kelechi, and he's a seasoned campaigner in the Super Eagles. So to some extent, I will understand Kelechi Iheanacho's own. And the way Nigeria plays is, we have 3 front men, 1 target man, which is normally Victor Osimhen, supported by Ademola Lookman and Moses Simon. In some cases, Samuel Chukwueze and Ademola Lookman supplying the crosses or going for goal in that sense. And then you also have a 3-man midfield. Could be Iwobi, Wilfred Ndidi, and then Frank Onyeka. And then you have the back line. Or if you're playing with wing backs, you have 5 in the front, 5 in the back, I beg your pardon, 3 in the middle and 2 in the front. So it depends on how you want to play. Like I earlier said, Kelechi Iheanacho, to some extent, I will understand. But if you're going to drop Taiwo Awoniyi, who is also a different kind of striker from Osimhen or Victor Boniface, then you also have to bring in somebody who is similar but has better form. So that's why, like what Emmanuel said, I would have thought at this stage with 10 points, we just need 1 point to guarantee qualification. It would have been a good time to bloody somebody like Tolu into the squad and see what he can do.
I'm sorry to butt in, Randa. Do you say because we have just 1 point to seal that qualification, we do not necessarily need to score more goals?
No, I mean you want to score. I remember I was in Agadir in Morocco when we beat Sao Tome 10-0. I enjoyed myself. So
don't you want to see that replayed?
We're in Morocco, we had fun, and the goals came. I think we beat them 10-0. Yes, I was at that game. So goals is not a problem. What I'm saying is, as you are preparing and qualifying for a tournament, you have to have the tournament behind your mind. How do I get to introduce some new players in a competitive setting, not friendly matches? So Tolu might not start. He will not start. I know definitely. But a cameo here and there, 10-15 minutes will not kill him. It will give him the confidence. Even if you don't invite him, you know he already has a bit of national team experience. He's been with the lads. He's trained with the lads. So that's a plus. So that was where I was trying to go in. That's what I expected anyway. Okay. Dessers, for me, he's something like Victor Boniface. So it's going to be very, very difficult for him to come in. If there's a Victor Osimhen missing, Boniface takes that. But if two of them, the two Victors are in, it's going to be difficult for Dessers. I will understand that part. Kelechi, I understand that part. Sadiq Umar, I totally do not understand.
We do not understand. That's why we're trying to make sense of that invitation here. Emmanuel Chibuzo, I know that we'll be missing some players who were very crucial in the play for the Nigerian Super Eagles in those games we played earlier for the group games. But at this time, Chidera Ejuke will not be in the front line for the Super Eagles of Nigeria due to injury, and we have some other players who are out. Shemi Ajayi in the defensive line. Do you think we would have problem both forward and backward for the Super Eagles of Nigeria going into these matches?
No, we won't have problem. I think we have a big problem at the back line because of the 3-man back line the coaches have loved to play with. From Pesero to Shemi Ajayi, Calvin Bassey, and William Troost-Ekong. In the absence of Shemi Ajayi, who slots in his place. Because they don't want to go with 4-4-2. The last game Nigeria played in Uyo, Eguavoen said they went with a 4-4-2 because whenever Nigeria plays with 3 at the back, 4 in the middle, according to whenever we go up front to attack, we expose the back line when in case a team wants to hit us on the counter attack. Those were his explanation why he chose to go with the 4 at the back. The game Nigeria won by the last minute goal in that game we played against Libya. So in the absence of Shemi Ajayi, who comes in for him? Educate did not even start the game. Now, earlier when Randa, he made a statement about Ian Acho experience being with the team. But as anybody observed, the last 3 call-ups for Ian Acho, he hasn't even featured for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. It's more like what he used to call home these players then, training material, because the last game we played, he didn't play. The previous 2 games we played in Uyo, Ian Acho has not been dressed for any of those games. So why does he keep getting the call-up? Normally, bringing players who fight for the place. Ejuke came off the bench in the last game we played in Uyo against Libya. So I don't think we're going to miss him. We are spoiled for choice. Either we're starting with Sam Chukwueze, we are starting with Moses Simon. Lukman can also play from the flank as well. We are spoiled for options. So I don't think we're going to miss Ejuke. For Shemi Ajayi, we might miss him. Now, who are the other options that will slot in at the back to partner with Troost-Ekong and Calvin Bassey, except the coach wants to go with a 4-4 formation. Another man who makes a return to the team is the man called Badusai Samuel. So he might not start because we also have the man Ola Aino, we also have Bruno Nemechi, who in recent times have been the left back his own position. So I think for Eguavoen right now, whether I want to stay with the 4 at the back or still go with the 3 at the back is what is left for him. But I think we might miss Shemi Ajayi, which I think we missed him a bit in the last game we played. But for Chidera Ejuke, I don't think we're going to miss him at all.
All right, Andrew, Victor Emmanuel, I beg your pardon, has been able to break this down, how we can look at the back line there. But there is one man who makes his return, a recall to the team. He plays for Auxerre. That's Gabriel Osho. Of course, very solid in the Ligue 1. I don't know if you follow his, his encounters there in the Ligue 1. Serving as he was brought in, I'm very sure, to serve as a suitable replacement for injured Shemi Ajayi. Do you think Gabriel Osho can fit in that shoe? I mean, not going to have any flops at the back line for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
I don't think so. I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be very okay because Calvin Bassey has been solid for Fulham at centre back, and he's also a left-footed centre back. And this is what I told people when Victor Collins was called up. Collins is probably, in my opinion, the best left-footed centre back in the MPFL. And you don't forget, before Eguavoen traveled, Victor was with him at the Chan camp in Abuja. He probably saw what he liked, and he decided to call him up. He might not be a regular, but Victor is somebody that you don't have his type. The last home-based centre-back who's left-footed that was called up is Issa Ali. I don't know where he is now. So I think he has a preference for centre-backs that are left-footed, and that's why they decided to call him up, so that he would deputize for Calvin Bassey. Based on this, I think Bassey and Trust Ekong will be our two centre-back pairings for the game, and then obviously Victor Collins might deputize. Gabriel Osho, I've watched 2 of his games in Ligue 1. This season, he's done very well. When he was at Luton last season, he played majorly at right back, but at Auxerre, he's a centre back, but he's right-footed. So I don't think we're going to have any problems on the defensive side. There's Bruno, there's Calvin who can play there, there's Gabriel, there's Collins, there's Ola, who is back, there's Bright Osayi Samuel. So even if he decides to play a 3-5-2, he's going to have his 3 midfield pivot, like I said, and then add a bit of Ola, who's in great form, by the way. Scored a stunner for Nottingham Forest last weekend. And so I'm really excited to see how he's going to do the fullback pairings or maybe the wing-back pairings. But for the centre-backs, I am very, very sure he's going to start with Calvin Bassey, who is left-footed, and William Trust Ekong, who is right-footed at the centre-back positions.
All right, let's take a break from this conversation. We'll return still having Andrew Randa and Emmanuel Chibuzo with us on In the Game. Welcome back and still watching In the Game. We've been having an interesting conversation here with 2 sport journalists. Finest, of course, we've got in Nigeria. We've got Andrew Randa and Emmanuel Chibuzo. Been trying to weigh the options, preview and review what it to look like for Nigeria to get that extra 1 point in order to seal qualification to the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Just 1 point. 1. And we've been able to weigh the attacking options, defensive options for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Those who have been ignored, those who are injured, those who just got their call up, and that's what we're talking about right now. Of course, I did finish up with Andrew Randa having to talk about the defensive option, even after the invitation of Gabriel Osho. He says, we're in good hands with the likes of Bassey and William Trust Ekong, also nominated for the CAF Player of the Year for 2024. All right, still have Andrew Randa and Chibuzo here. Let me begin with Emmanuel Chibuzo. We have 1 player, just 1 player from the home-based team, the Chan Eagles, those who plied their trade in the Nigeria Premier Football League, who will be making the showing at the Super Eagles, for this game against Benin Republic and Rwanda. Okay, I do hear that we do not have Chibuzo right now. We're waiting for him to join us again. Andrew Randa, I'll be throwing this question to you because I know you follow the Nigeria Premier Football League closely. Are you in any way worried that it's only 1 player we've got from the home base, Victor Collins, who was given a look into the Super Eagles squad for these encounters?
No, I'm not really worried. It's been the trend for the last 20, 25 years since Stephen Keshi and Henry Nwosu decided to leave Nigeria to go to Cote d'Ivoire. And then that was how the whole run of was started. So I'm not really surprised. The truth of the matter is, in my opinion, our best players are abroad. But that doesn't mean that if you see a player who looks promising or who looks interesting from the home front, he can't be invited to the Super Eagles. I've always said, listen, if there's a spot that you feel can be filled by a locally based player who has actually showed a bit of potential, he should get a shot at it. It's left for him to prove if he's worthy enough of the green, white, green shirt. So I'm not really worried per se, and I'm hoping time towards the night to see if he can find players that can suit his playing style and can suit what he wants to build with the national team.
But Andrew, I was looking at...
I'm sure we have a lot of good players in Nigeria. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry to butt in, Andrew. I was looking at the fact that he's got options as also the interim coach for the Chan Eagles. I was hoping that he could get players that would impress him, even from that camp open before now, ahead of that Chan qualifiers. But out of the whole players listed, almost 35 players, we had only Victor Collins given a chance. Andrew, are you not worried? You did say that our best players ply their trade abroad. What does this say about the Nigeria Premier Football League, Andrew?
You can't take away.
Okay, I think we're having a network glitch there with Andrew Randa. It's good. It's a good thing that Emmanuel Chibuzo is back here again. So Emmanuel Chibuzo, your return here is giving Andrew Randa's network a little bit of glitch, but it's all good. Emmanuel, thank you for joining us back again.
Good to be back.
Great to have you. All right, I had a question for Andrew Randa there, talking about the Nigeria Premier Football League players that were given a chance, and only one was given a chance. And he did say that our best players plied their trade abroad. This is coming from Andrew Randa. Do you also believe that? Do you think this is a whitewash for the Nigeria Premier Football League, that particular statement from Andrew Randa?
But actually, it's true. It's a bitter truth, but it's true. Because many times you look at the MPFL, you question what goes on in the MPFL. We have some good players, no doubt, but in terms of the quality compared to what we have abroad, no. So yes, at some point, a coach in the MPFL, was one of the coaches said the home-based players are training materials whenever they come to the national setting. And I know we didn't see that well with some coaches, with some pundits who took it in that line. Now, there was a campaign that Ahmed Musa and even Rabi Ali, the ageless one I call him, are going to have a shot back in Super Eagles. Ahmed Musa said like a house on fire. But I was surprised, even for the champ list, he was not even invited. I don't know why. Why is that? Now, there are some good defenders in the MPFL. They even have 2 centre-backs, Pascal Eze and Somali Adalibo, the captain of the team, who I feel also deserve a call-up. They might not get to play. When they used to have Chinedu Georgie, God rest his soul, and the man who has gone to Remo Stars these days, what's the name again? The former captain. He got called up to the national team, even though he doesn't get to feature regularly. Now,
do you mean Sikiru?
No, what's the name? He went to Saudi Arabia at some point before he came back to Abia Warriors and now to Rebel Stars. I'm seeing his face right now. Now, for many of them, they get called up to the national team, but they don't get to play. And we keep saying they just invite them to be part of the training team, they don't get to play. Some people feel if you give them a regular play time. Now, okay, the last game Super Eagles played in Uyo, people were questioning the rationale behind starting Frank Onyeka in the same midfield with Wilfred Ndidi. No creativity from the two of them. Now, is there nobody in the MPFL who can bring that creativity? Rabi Ali is a fine midfielder, good on set pieces. If he gets a chance, he's 43. Can he get a shot at it? Other players, there was a time we had an associate Binuba in the MPFL. At the time we had Ikechukwu Benegu, Mosquito, we call him, who was playing one of the best midfield positions in the MPFL. But nobody gave them a call-up to the national team. So we've had players who, even at their prime in the MPFL, didn't get a call-up to the national team setup, raising best known to the coaches. But yes, the quality of players we have in the MPFL, they don't be getting a regular call-up. Even when they get a call-up, they don't get to play regularly. And so you now keep asking, what's the name, what's the rationale behind inviting them and not playing them? We have players in the MPFL, good players. Olisanda played for Aqua United. Before he went to South Africa, he got a call-up. Yeah, he was so sad he couldn't make it this time because of the injury. Yeah. But just we have players in the MPFL, but the quality is not as good as what we see. Few of them have left here to the shores of Europe. We didn't hear from them again. Ezekiel Bassi left Eibar for Barcelona. Okay. That was the end of him. And nobody knew what happened to him anymore.
Okay. All right, Andrew, sure you're back. Welcome back. I wanted to really quiz you about if you had other options for the Nigeria Premier Football League you think should have been given an invite to the national team for these encounter.
I have a lot of them. I can read a 30-man list, a 30-man list for you myself. I've got lots of them. But Victor Collins was the only one that was invited. You also have Junior Unduka at Remo Stars. At Eyimba, you have Pascal Eze and their captain, Somero Alalibo. If you come to Kano Pillars, there's Rabiu Ali. If you come to Plateau United, there's Adewale Adeyinka. If you go to Rangers, there's Godwin Obaje. There are lots of them. Even if you come to Aqua United, there are a few players that I feel that can actually help them out. Wisdom Undon, very young, intelligent.
What is the rationale behind having to ignore this players?
There's Anas Yusufi has scored 9 goals in 9 games for Nasarawa United. So there's a lot of them, if you ask me.
All right, what is the rationale by the Nigerian Football Federation having to ignore these players. Were they only just left to play in the CHAN, only the CHAN qualifiers, and not given a look into the senior men's national team, the Super Eagles? Andrew?
Like I said, and as you said it's an indictment. It's not an indictment on the league at all. I said our best players are outside. I don't see any attacker in the MPFL that is better than Victor Osimhen. I don't see that. So I'm saying our best players are abroad. It does not mean that the players in Nigeria are bad. You can only start 11 players at a time, except you want to start a bit like a quota system where you say, okay, one spot for one of the 3 goalkeepers has to be an MPFL player like they did with Ahmad before he went abroad, or Leke or Joe before he went to Sudan, and you say you're going to have one defender, one midfielder, one attacker. It's going to be very difficult. For me, I would have thought the defensive line with Collins, if you have games like this that are low-pressure games, these are the times to begin to integrate some of the MPFL players. Like I said, just 1 point is enough for us to qualify. I do not think one MPFL player starting a game will make us lose that game. So when they play these games, they begin to get the confidence, they begin to feel among the national team setup, and it grows their confidence, it grows their game, and subsequently, they begin to go better. But unfortunately, like Emmanuel said, one of the biggest issues we have, but there's nothing we can do about it, is once you invite an MPFL player to the Super Eagles, after 2 or 3 games, you don't see them again. The clubs buy them off. Anayo Iwala is a perfect example of that. There are a few of them here and there. Leke Ojo went to the Nations Cup. Today is in Sudan. He's left. Amas is in Ethiopia. He's left. So it is just like that. It has happened for the last 10 years or thereabout. Ezekiel went to Barcelona. We don't know where he is now. There are lots of them that, even if Fanya Nemena, for who plays for Remo Stars now, he was invited at the point. I remember I was on a trip with him. After that, he went to Saudi Arabia. Now he's back at Remo. He starts all over again. So these are some of the little issues. It's not that simple. It's not that easy. But like I said, if we have low pressure games like this ones or dead robbers, that's a perfect time to call in the better players in the local league and blend them with the mainstream super.
I'm very sure that we have been able to get clearly what Andrew Randa is driving at in that conversation there. Give them a look into the senior men's national team. All right, we have to draw a close to that conversation. Thank you so much, Andrew Randa, for sharing your thoughts with us on In the Game concerning the Super Eagles squad list. We appreciate your time on the show.